Hey, welcome. So today we're going to pull back the curtain on something we all use every single day, but maybe don't think about too much. Cloud storage. It's that invisible magic that keeps all our photos, our documents, and basically our entire digital lives safe and sound, and, accessible from anywhere. All right, let's get into it.
I mean, seriously, have you ever stopped to think about it? You tap save on your phone, the file just kind of vanishes, and we just trust that it's safe somewhere out there. So where is that somewhere? What's really happening behind the scenes? Well, that's what we're going to break down.
And there's your answer, right there. At its heart, it's really that simple. Instead of cramming everything onto the physical hard drive in your computer or your phone, you're basically saving it to the internet. It's like you're renting a little digital cubbyhole on a huge, super secure computer, what we call a server, that's owned by a company like Google or Amazon. Okay, so how does your file actually make that journey? From your screen all the way into one of those giant data centers. It feels totally instant, right? But there's this really cool 3-step process that happens in like the blink of an eye.
From our end, it's just so easy. First, you hit upload or save, and that sends your files zipping across the internet. Second, the cloud provider, like Dropbox or Apple, grabs that file and makes copies of it on their super powerful servers. And then, the third step, the magic part, is you can log in from your laptop, your tablet, any device really, and pull that exact same file right back down. It's this seamless little dance that happens in seconds.
This is probably the best analogy for it. It really is like a digital locker. You've got the key, which is your username and password, and you can open that locker and get your stuff from anywhere on the planet as long as you have an internet connection. Simple as that.
But here's where it gets interesting. Not all these digital lockers are built the same way. See, depending on what you're storing, whether it's a text document or a high-def video, engineers use different flavors of cloud storage. Each one is built for a very specific job. Let's look at the 3 main types. So first up, you've got file storage. This is the one you're probably most familiar with. It organizes everything in folders and files, just like the desktop on your computer. It's absolutely perfect for things like Google Drive or Dropbox, where you're sharing documents and collaborating. Then you have object storage. This is a whole different beast. Instead of folders, your data is stored as a single object, bundled with a bunch of info about it, called metadata. This system is built for ridiculous scale. Think about all the photos on Instagram or videos on Netflix. That's object storage at work. And finally, we've got the real powerhouse, block storage. This chops your data up into tiny, fast access blocks. It's all about speed and performance. This is what's running behind the scenes for things like your online bank's database, where every single millisecond counts.
So, all of this sounds pretty incredible, right? But, like with any technology, it's not perfect. There are always trade-offs. So, let's get real for a second and weigh the pros and the cons of living our lives in the cloud.
Okay, the advantages are just huge game changers. The convenience of not having to carry around a USB stick is amazing in itself. You can get your files from literally anywhere. You can work on the same document with your team in real time. And maybe the biggest one of all, disaster recovery, right? If your laptop dies or, heaven forbid, you drop your phone in a lake, all your data is totally fine. That peace of mind, it's priceless.
And this right here, this is the everyday magic of it. This automatic syncing is something we completely take for granted now. But just take a second to appreciate the incredible complex dance happening behind the scenes to make that one photo just appear on your laptop moments after you took it on your phone. It's truly amazing.
So what's the catch? Well, the biggest one, for sure, is that you are completely dependent on the internet. If you don't have a connection, you don't have your files. It's as simple as that. Then there are privacy concerns. You are handing over your personal data to another company. And of course, there are the practical things, like storage limits on free plans, and the rare but very real possibility that the service could go down, locking you out of your own stuff.
So really, if you boil it all down, this is the big trade-off you're making. You're giving up physical control of your files for this incredible, ultimate convenience. It's this constant balance, right? Access from anywhere versus needing the internet for, everything.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how. Now let's just bring it all home and look at all the ways the cloud is already a massive part of your life, probably in ways you don't even notice.
The short answer is pretty much everyone. Students are sharing assignments on Google Drive. Huge companies run their entire businesses on services like Amazon S3. Photographers are saving massive photo libraries to the Adobe Cloud. And then there's you. Every time your phone automatically backs up, every time you share a photo album with your family, every time a document syncs between your phone and your computer, that's you using the cloud.
So, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. Cloud storage makes 3 simple promises. It keeps your data safe if your device breaks, it keeps everything perfectly in sync, and it makes sure your stuff is always, always within reach.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. We've gained so much convenience, it's undeniable. But as we hand over more and more of our lives, our memories, our work, our identities to these services, what's the true cost of outsourcing our digital memory? It's definitely something worth thinking about. Thanks so much for diving into this with me today.